What's popping in the streets, everybody? I believe, therefore I am King Siler. Hope you guys are doing all right this evening. Before I even get started, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, King_Siler. It's probably going to be right here in the corner for you guys to see. But today's going to be a really short video. This one's coming directly from the heart. And I'm not afraid to say, y'all know I'm pretty upfront about a lot of stuff, and I'm not afraid to admit that this particular topic, dare I say, I was triggered by, and this was one that was more so for me. So let's just jump right into it. So I just want to simply say, as you can see in the title, I am not going to apologize. I'm never going to apologize, especially when it comes to having these types of conversations and, kind of expressing, my opinions about certain things and my thought processes about, what goes on in our community, the world, whatever the case may be, people, music, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on. This is obviously a lot of what I talk about here is inspired by firsthand experience and things that I've seen. If it is, firsthand experience, or if it's, third party or whatever the case may be, or even sometimes being somebody who was, caught a little bit of the collateral damage and stuff like that. So again, I'm just flat out just simply saying I am never going to apologize. Now, to kind of explain what I mean by that. So back to back, this past week, probably 3 times, maybe not in the same way, but it was a similar conversation. And ultimately one person flat out kind of came out and told me that and I quote directly, "Siler, I think you talk too much." And I'm not gonna lie, I took that, I really did take it personally. Not necessarily in a bad way, as far as in terms of like, oh, well, fuck you or something like that. But I mean, as far as in terms of like, I talk too much. Like, you say it in a mannerism in which like it's bad. Like, what I'm saying is just nothing but gossip, or it's, detrimental to someone's well-being, or I'm just, shitting on somebody, whatever the case may be. But the whole premise, again, from me creating this channel was to discuss topics within our community that I've seen on numerous occasions that people are too fearful or afraid to talk about, whether that be because they may potentially burn a bridge, or that mean they may not be important enough, so that way people would actually listen, or whether that may be a situation that they just simply don't have, the opportunity or the blessing that I have to simply prop up a camera, have a microphone, and articulate their opinion as far as like what's going on around them. And like I said, I took it real personal, because I was just like, I'm not saying anything that's out of line or that's crazy or anything. I'm speaking directly from the heart. I'm speaking on your experiences. I'm speaking on the next man's experience. I'm speaking against, topics that we do need to discuss. And they're just foreshadowing. The next 2 topics that I talk about are going to be pretty extreme. So, kind of brace yourselves. I won't say extreme, but they're going to be kind of close to home. So, it is what it is. But the reason why I am so outspoken about what goes on in our community is because I am truly 125% invested and committed to my community. Most people are afraid to say that, I know when it came to Crumpers, we kind of quoted it as like, oh, there's more to life than Crump, or whatever the case may be, or I got a life outside of Crump. Okay, well, it's okay to simply say that, dance is your life, Crump is your life. That's okay. We never said that it was bad to have balance. People used to kind of throw that as like a deterrent as far as like if they lost a battle or whatever the case may be, or if they weren't ready to lab, or if they weren't, they weren't hip to what's going on in the scene and stuff like that. And I've even heard that thrown around the dance community on numerous occasions as well. It's okay to have balance in life and be actively involved in your community. That is what I do. And I think sometimes people truly, truly underestimate that. Like, I am wholeheartedly committed to my dance community. I love it. It is what makes up my free time. It is what turned me into the man I am today. It's what kept me here. It's what's, helped me mature, learn, grow. I've met some great people. I've met some people that are no longer in my life anymore. I'll just simply put it like that. And it's taught me everything that I know. I've learned much more in dance than I've learned in any other particular field, whether that be sports, politics, ROTC, anything, respectfully, even church. That's just me personally. I have learned much more about myself and the people and my actions and how to conduct myself further down the line than I ever have than any other circle I've ever had in my life. So I need people to understand that, like, when I get on here and talk, understand it's definitely from the heart. I'm never going to apologize for having conversations that need to be discussed, because some people just simply won't do it. It needs to be discussed. And sometimes I will bring other people on here to discuss it with me because I'm not the most experienced in these particular topics. But don't think for a second that I am afraid to tackle something that I have an opinion on. Yes, I will provide my own personal experience, which that is fact, my own personal experience with certain situations, or I'll just simply read the facts as they've been shown to me. But I need people to definitely understand, like, where I'm coming from with this. I'm out here speaking so that people behind me, or the people who don't have a voice, have a voice. Because in no way, shape, form, or fashion do I consider myself a top tier dancer or whatever the case may be. I know I'm great. I'm never going to downplay my skills and my hard work and all the dedication I put to be in this position that I put myself in. No one put me in. I put myself in. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion will I ever put myself on a pedestal and say, I'm above all of you. Because at the end of the day, it's still the dance community versus everybody else. It starts breaking down after those, the breaking, popping, crumping, whatever the case may be after that. But at the end of the day, we are all dancers. We are all artists. We all have to get up here and express ourselves from time to time. So in no way will I ever apologize for being passionate and committed to my community. Rain, sleet, or snow, I will get on here. I will give my opinion, do my best to divulge the facts that maybe people don't see, or simply just give my own personal opinion and leave it up to the rest of you guys. But I don't want people to think that I'm angry or hostile in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't. Don't confuse my passion and my commitment for hostility or aggression. Listen to the words that I'm saying. Don't look at this, because I think sometimes this is what too many people focus on. They see this. Oh, you're not the person who should be saying this. Okay. You just don't want to hear it from me. You want it to be said by that person up there that you look up to. Okay, well, that person you look up to is not saying nothing. So guess what? Somebody down here who's not afraid to talk is going to say it. So I think there's a big line here. There's a huge difference between gossiping and then talking or communicating. A big line here. And I think some of y'all are so focused on this that it feels too close to home. Don't confuse me trying to communicate with you guys and get opinions on what gossip is. Maybe you guys should learn the difference. Start there first. And if you want to have a conversation, again, I'm saying this for the millionth time, I'm not going to turn anybody down here who wants to come down here and sit right here in this chair and we can have a conversation. That's cool, as long as you're willing to drive the miles, because I live far from everybody else in my particular city. But let's talk about it, or we don't even have to talk on camera. You can call me and message me, but it seems to be the same repeated thing all and over and over and over again. Nobody wants to talk. Everybody thinks that everything can be justified through action. It ain't going to work like that. Oh, you talk too much, Siler. No, I just don't think that you guys are willing to sit down and have a respectable conversation. We don't have to agree at the end of the day. But at the end of that conversation, I want us to be able to exchange our opinions, our beliefs, and our experiences and interactions within this community and say, I hear where you're coming from. Maybe my experience is just simply different, and this is what I believe. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to know that, okay, this is real for you. It's not just you simply being butthurt because somebody is speaking up and has an opinion about something that you're too afraid to talk about. Or maybe you just don't have the galls to talk about it. Or maybe you just don't have the education, the verbiage, the knowledge, or the ability to articulate in the way that I can. I get up here and I talk reckless every single time. I talk reckless, but I do not talk disrespectfully. So I think it's high past time that y'all start putting some respect on the crown that sits right there in the front. You ain't never heard me say in any way, shape, or fashion I'm the best. But I will conduct myself as. So, that's all I got. I hope y'all have a great day. Catch y'all in the next one.